All right, family. Black Power is the true power with General Sarah Susan said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarah Susan said YouTube page, a dynamic page. Y'all know what it is, Black Power, Black Frequency. You feeling that frequency and energy. You should most definitely join. Link right down in the video description in the chat. Click that link, you'll get a video introduction rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join, even if you don't. I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Soon Said YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarah Soon Seti, DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor accessories for every room in the house. I got something nice for your family. Get over there, check out that catalog, get you some, get a discount, family, shop and save and shop. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com, SETI University, over 1,500 videos, 35 subjects, family, all the subjects that you know and love from the general. Plus, we got the supplemental, also monumental and instrumental research material from the grandmasters. The website is fire. There's no other website on the planet that can compare. Get over there today, become a member, and get access to all that fire. That's right, family. And everybody knows SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never come. You feel me? We fight for African revolution any and everywhere we at, everywhere we go. And so, family, you know, Patreon is the lecture hall of the BPC, over 500 exclusive live streams, never to be seen on any other platform. The hardest, most fiery Patreon page out there. You should become a patron today, get access, and then you get a chance to see the general go live. And that's the main thing. You see what I'm saying? Because SETI Live is lit. All the family out there donate to the general. I thank you. I appreciate the fact you appreciate me. Any of the family out there would like to donate to the general. Hard work we put down over here. Link is in the video description. It's in the chat. Click that link, donate. I thank you ahead of time. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. That's right, family. We in the house. We got another fiery one. I know it's gonna bring a lot of emotions out. A lot of emotions. They talking about that new evidence has come out in regards to, the murder of our shining black prince, El Haj El Malik Shabazz, brother Omar Wally, brother Malcolm X, saying that two of his security teams were detained, arrested a week before his murder, and saying and people are speculating that this was, to have those who would really protect him out of the way so that this murder could be carried out without any protection for Malcolm or any of that, making it easier for him to be murdered. And you know what? It's a shame. It's a shame that even to this day, we are still trying to figure out what happened to Malcolm X. I'm gonna tell you this, and I always, because I want to honor Malcolm X, in what I know of him. I didn't live while, matter of fact, I believe Malcolm died the year I was born. I believe so. You see, 72. I believe Malcolm died the year I was born. I believe so. I had to go back and check. You see, uh, but As I started to get into the culture, I was reading books and and everything, but and before I got to he was that's right, he died before me. That's right. I don't know what made me. Yeah, he died in what did he die? 65. That's right. Yeah, so he died 7 years before. I don't even know what made me. I was on this speech that I'm about to give. Uh was actually I believe this speech that I'm a Farrakhan might have been in 72. But anyway, when I started getting into the culture, I was reading Dr. Ben. I hadn't even met Dr. Ben yet. My uncle was going overseas with Dr. Ben, but I hadn't even met Dr. Ben. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I had even, I would listen to Dr. Ben only with my uncle because I didn't even have none of his tapes. So when me and I, ride with my uncle, he always had Dr. Ben in. That's all he played was lectures. You know what I'm saying? So and so, as I began to broaden my horizons, Farrakhan was actually the first person that I would listen to because he was still on the radio at that time, and I believe it was on AM. You see, yeah, that's right, 65. I was thinking about this lecture that Farrakhan gave. It was 72 on the video, which took my mind, a different direction. But I used to run home, man, because when hip hop first came in, a lot of the 5%ers and all of that, connected, and they would mention Farrakhan, and so you know what, my uncle was a Muslim. One of my other uncle, Rashid, was a Muslim, and he would be listening to Farrakhan. And so I say, damn, what's that? He gave me the AM station, and man, he would, Farrakhan would come on the radio Fridays. You see what I'm saying? Right around like 6 o'clock. And man, I don't give a goddamn where I was. I get home, and that's back. You still had cassette tapes and shit. I put my, I'm recording. You know what I'm saying? I got all my tapes, and I'm starting to collect tapes, and yeah, and I was listening. That was a part of my ritual. That was a part of my development, And as I start, and I was listening to Farrakhan, and uh I was able to get my hands on some Malcolm X tapes. You know what I'm saying? The Malcolm X movie came out. Spike Lee, and and so I was, I was going to the bookstores and whatnot, and I seen that they had made like a little like five or six Malcolm X greatest speeches. And it was in a little, in a case, and I said, oh, I got to have that. And so I bought that, and it had message to the grassroots, ballad of the bullet, uh, 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 and I think it was two of his other speeches. You see what I'm saying? It was more than that, but those were two. And man, listen to me. After I heard, thank you, family. After I heard, yeah, I was just listening, looking at what one of the family was saying. After I heard Malcolm X, man, I was like, whoa. I ain't gonna even lie. I say, wait a minute. Yeah, Malcolm was like, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm was profoundly. I can as I wasn't no more than 18 years old. I knew who the man was. When I heard him the first time, I said, oh, Malcolm is the truth. And so from that moment, man, as a teacher, man, I fell in love with Malcolm X. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he was profoundly for real. My first teacher. I can just say that. You know what I'm saying? He was my first teacher that I gravitated towards, and man, I would listen to them speeches almost every day, man, for years, man. I was just message to the grassroots, ballad of the bullet. I couldn't stop playing it over and over and over and over. But that year when that movie came out, the controversy came up. Yeah, yeah. The controversy came up and about the death of Malcolm X. And Farrakhan name came up. It was a lot of talk about it. And when I found out that his name was implicated in the death of Malcolm X, I was troubled, man. I was seriously troubled. You know what I'm saying? I say, what? How did and so, and then I say, you know what? I got to do some goddamn research. And I heard a speech from Farrakhan. And when I heard him speak, and I'm gonna play some of this for you today. I say, you know what? I'm done with that nigga. You see what I'm saying? I'm done with him. Anybody that could be implicated in the death of Malcolm X, I can't fuck with you. And I didn't need nobody else, say don't, No, it was my own nature. You see what I'm saying? It was my own nature that told me, you know what, you can't fuck with this man no more. Straight up. You see what I'm saying? Because Malcolm was like a prophet. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear when you hear Farrakhan, and I'm just gonna tell you this. He always tries to boost himself up. You know what I'm saying? I'm this. I'm that. I was sent and to guide the people and do all this. You ain't even hear Malcolm teach. Like Malcolm was teaching Black power. He did not boost himself up. He didn't do none of that. He just taught truth, Black power. You see what I'm saying? He didn't do what Farrakhan did. So when you get Farrakhan, a lot of that be some old grandiose, grandizing, and you know what I'm saying? And when I heard Malcolm, it was just pure teaching. None of that. He didn't elevate himself or nothing. Just pure teaching. And I understood right there, that's the master right there. You see? And when I seen that he didn't have no ego as far as trying to boost himself up like that, I'm thinking to myself, like, why would they try to kill Malcolm X, man? It's something ain't right with that. It just something ain't right with that. And so, man, we had these old Muhammad speaks. I remember as a young guy, you know what I'm saying? I was 18, and my peoples used to be a part of the Nation of Islam when Elijah Muhammad was in. My great grandmother, great grandfather, they were Black Muslims. My uncle, my father's brother, he was a Black Muslim. Then on my mama's side, one of my other uncles, Carl, was a Black Muslim. Then Rashid was he was a part of the Nation of Islam when Elijah. And so, it was a lot of old Muhammad speaks. They was always there. And I hadn't even bothered to read them so much until I started really studying. And so I went and I started looking through the magazines, and I opened up one, and it had Malcolm X. It had his head cut off with some horns on it, and it was like it was bouncing down the street. I say, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And so, that disturbed me. Real talk. It just disturbed me. And so, I say, you know what? I just, I kind of I put the Nation of Islam to the side. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't trying to be a member, but my first understanding that they was for our people. So I'm gonna study to see what they all about. And so, yeah, but in my, my study in the history, too much of that shit was beyond my reasoning. I couldn't believe some of that, I couldn't believe some of all them goddamn fairy tales that they were. So I didn't gravitate to it so much. I respected the black man is God. I respected the how you eat and how be stand up. I respected that aspect, but many of them stories I couldn't fuck with. And so I knew it wasn't gonna be my primary, program of which I was gonna develop in. I knew that. You know what I'm saying? I still understood that the Nile Valley, but I hadn't touched Doc yet. I was about to touch Doc. You know what I'm saying? I was about to get over there and I did. You see, and so I started doing more research to see if, what is really going on with the death of Malcolm X. How did this happen like this? You see? And so the movie kind of gave you a glimpse, and a lot of people say the movie was, it wasn't what it, that Spike Lee made up some shit or this, that, and the third. But nevertheless, I had other resources to get information from people who lived during the time. You see what I'm saying? And so, I'm coming across this speech by Farrakhan. We about to play it right here. And man, the fact that they say that they didn't have nothing to do with Malcolm X murder, but talk so flagrantly about Malcolm. You see what I'm saying? Talk so flagrantly about his death. You see, I would never forget this. Hey, nigga, you are an accessory. You are an accessory, one way or another, to the death of Malcolm X. You're an accessory. You see what I'm saying? The way you talked about Malcolm X was so flagrant. You see, and I'm gonna show you the hypocrisy in what they, and I'm gonna stop as we move through this. But we're gonna get started, and we're gonna listen to what Farrakhan had to say about Malcolm X. Let me get this up here. Let me make sure everything is Gucci. Okay, let's go.
Malcolm didn't know what he was playing with. No, he didn't. He didn't know what he was playing with. You don't jump up against a divine messenger of God like he did. He asked to die. God advised him. No, you don't understand. Like someone said, did you Muslims kill Malcolm? So the messenger said, and what if we did?
See, I want to stop right there. Because what they say is Elijah said, don't touch Malcolm X. That's what they say. That you see a lot of people say the messenger said, don't lay a hand on Malcolm X. But here, Farrakhan say, well, what if we did? You see? See, when you implement, implicate. Let me get that right. Implicate yourself. If somebody's talking about the murder of a man or a woman, You don't implicate yourself in it by even, what's the word? Not assuming, but alluding to any possibility that you would be okay with that. You see, when you allude to that it's okay, or it may be right for the man to die, then you got motive. Insinuating, right? Insinuating. You got motive. And that's what he did right there. But they always saying, you insinuating that what if we did? We had a right to. That's what he's saying. We had a right to. Okay. We're going to go over this again. We're going to go over this again.
Malcolm didn't know what he was playing with. No, he didn't. He didn't know what he was playing with. You don't jump up with the divine message of God like he did. He asked to die.
He asked to die.
And God obliged him.
And God obliged him.
No, you don't understand. Like someone said, did you Muslims kill Malcolm? So the messenger said, and what if we did? He said, what if we did?
What if we did?
Have you ever seen a leader scandalized like Malcolm scandalized Muhammad? Have you ever heard of anything like that? Don't you know if you scandalize a man who's loved and honored by the people, what are you asking for? You're asking for death. And he got what he asked for. And those who killed him, they weren't sneaking behind no damn counter. They came into place where the man was preaching and killed him in front of his own followers. That's fearless men.
See, now let me start right there. See, he said that the men, they wasn't hiding behind no counter, that they were fearless men. You see, they were fearless. And so in essence, that's almost when you honor a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? You don't honor no murderer. You see? You don't honor no damn murderers to do something like that. You putting medals on their damn chest, talking about they fearless. You're a goddamn coward to kill a man in front of his wife and children like that. You see what I'm saying? Talking about fearless. What kind of shit is that? You got to listen to this nigga, man. This nigga is foul. He's foul.
And those who were there to guard him, they were ducking. Damn cowardly dogs. Ducking and running under poles instead of trying to protect the man. And you say as your leader, you're a damn punk. You don't have no leader. If he's your leader, why the hell don't you stand up for him? Now all of a sudden they can serve you a dead man on a platter. And you eat him up as your leader, not knowing nothing about him while he was alive and know less about him now that he's dead. Malcolm's momentum carried him to his death.
That's foul. That's foul. You see, that's foul. You have motive. You can hear the disdain in the nigga voice. You see what I'm saying? You see, you can hear the disdain in the nigga's voice for Malcolm. You understand? Right or wrong, nigga, y'all have motive to kill him. Now, listen here. If you know a man done been murdered and you ain't had shit to do with it, you don't even open up your mouth. You understand what I'm saying? To give anybody the impression, especially if you already done been at odds with the man. You done been at odds with the man. Y'all going back and forth. You see, y'all done firebombed him, firebombed the man's house. And, and so on and so forth, insinuating even then that he might have bombed the house itself with his own daughters. He gonna throw a Molotov in the room with his own daughters. I mean, just to say some shit like that. You see, they even say some shit like that. See, this we have to deal with this. You can't. This is another part about nationhood. This is another. This is something that we have to learn in order to move forward. When you got cowards like this to assassinate that ain't no telling it. How further along the way we might be if Malcolm X had lived. If Malcolm could have touched, you know, more of our young brothers. Now, I don't personally agree with the Islamic part, and he had it set up where you didn't necessarily have to be a Muslim. I believe he had the Organization for African American Unity, which did, and then he had his separate institution for his Islamic faith. So he separated that, from my understanding. And so, that don't mean he was trying to force everybody to be a Muslim. I'm quite sure he understands that. But the aspect of being a man, being a fearless leader, being, taking care of your family, and you understand what I'm saying, reaching your hands across the water, but doing it right. See, that's what I was talking about. Malcolm X trying to get the Black community together and strengthening us here, and then also reaching our hands across the water at the same time, trying to build with other African communities that were also trying to strengthen their hand. You see, in progressively moving forward, you understand, after hundreds of years of colonialism and imperialism. And so, and that was a beautiful thing that we had with Malcolm, because he did what no other leader could do. Even though Marcus talked about Pan-Africanism, you have to really understand that during the time of Marcus Garvey, shit, man, Africa was truly colonized. It wasn't, I don't even think it was no freedom for no nation on the continent at that time. You see, and so, the reality was that, it was before, it was a utopian dream. But the reality is, by the time Malcolm came along, revolution was moving through Africa. You see, and he was able to do what no other leader could do. Get over there, talk to the leadership, build relationships with many revolutionary leaders and communities in Africa, which made him a threat. I ain't seen Farrakhan but build one relationship, and that was with Muammar Gaddafi, a damn Arab. Now, I'm not about the Arabism, but that's okay. I'm not going to deal with that aspect right now. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to be, we're talking about, would it have been better if Malcolm had, was with us, remained with us, and we moved with Malcolm and developed under Malcolm. You see what I'm saying? With Malcolm, I think we would have been in a lot better predicament than where we are today. And so when you think about the egotism, a lot of these niggas, you see what I'm saying? And saying, well, Malcolm, even with Khaled, I couldn't forgive, I listened to Khaled. I didn't give a goddamn about Farrakhan. Even when Khaled was with the Nation of Islam, I still didn't give a damn. I listened to Khaled. You understand what I'm saying? And, in some things where he diverted to, that the Nation of Islam teaches, I didn't mess with that, but I understood in the heart of Khaled that he wanted revolutionary liberation. I knew it. I felt it in his bones and his spirit, that's what he was about. So I seen the resurrection of Malcolm in many respects in college. You see, I seen the resurrection of Malcolm in many respects in college, but yet and still understand that Malcolm is the great prophet, no doubt about it. You see what I'm saying? He is, he profoundly, you know what I'm saying? When it come that no other leader could reach their hand and build that community, like that global community, like Malcolm was doing and shit. And so, and to take a dynamic soul like that fuck your egotism. Our people need this is a blessing from the ancestors to have Malcolm. Fuck your ego, nigga. Our people is in behind the 8 ball. We need this brother out here teaching and moving us forward. He cannot be replaced. You niggas couldn't replace him. You didn't do shit. Didn't do a goddamn thing. You didn't even have you didn't have the ability to, on a global scale, like Malcolm, and to hit the ground running like Malcolm, man, and build. He built it. Don't give a fuck what y'all say. He built it. He the one hit the ground, built the mosque up, put the newspapers out. You understand what I'm saying? Galvanize. Yeah, we understand. Galvanize the communities. You see, organized them and went across the water. Dynamic. And you took him off. You took him off the chessboard. Y'all put him in a predicament. You understand? Because y'all niggas was weak. Y'all didn't have those. You really didn't love the people. Y'all didn't really see that. Y'all wanted to live in that goddamn mythology shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wanted to live in that mythology. Yeah. Y'all wanted to live in that mythology. And and took this brother off the chessboard, and it was a mighty blow to our community as far as developing the brothers that was needed to see Malcolm, who epitomized black manhood. You see what I'm saying? Epitomized it. And y'all took him off, man. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Even in the movie, I had never really seen, and even in the movie, man, when I seen it, because, like I said, I didn't get into the murder of Malcolm X. When I first came into the knowledge of Malcolm X, it was his teachings. And then later on, I would start to hear about what happened to Malcolm X, man. And it broke my heart, man, just to hear and even see it in the movie. I couldn't witness it. Like, damn, man, they did Malcolm like that. Yeah, they did. And the way that they talked about Malcolm. You see, I say, man, fuck this nigga. Straight up. I don't give a fuck who don't like it. I don't. Fuck this nigga. Straight up. You an enemy, nigga. You to speak about Malcolm like that? And then at the same time say you didn't have nothing to do about it? Man, if I was looking for motherfuckers in my blood, and and I'm looking for motherfuckers that talking shit, you know what I'm saying, about my family like that, and I heard you say something like that, even if you didn't have nothing to do with it, even if that was my loved one, and I'm looking for niggas that who killed my loved one, and I heard that speech that you gave, man, I'll be trying to fuck you up. Straight up. I'm like, this nigga has something to do with it. Wouldn't be nothing in my spirit. And anybody out there that know, you understand what I'm saying, that they would feel the same way. If that was your loved one and you listen and you looking, and you hear a motherfucker, if you ain't got nothing, shut the fuck up. Don't be inflammatory like that. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't have nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't wish nothing like that upon Malcolm. But when you getting motherfuckers say he brought it on himself, and Yeah, you celebrating his death. That was a celebration. That was a celebration. You know what I'm saying? What do you think his loved ones, when they hear that, you think they gonna take it like you, oh, we didn't mean, no, nigga, you want beef. You want beef. Ain't nobody gonna take that like, oh, nigga, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. It's motherfuckers out here dying right now for that same shit. You see what I'm saying? You see all these rappers out here that are glorifying, they're just like that one rapper in Chicago. Not long, when did he get killed? He made a song about a nigga getting killed, you know what I'm saying, at the bus stop and shit. And them niggas remember that. You know what I'm saying? That just like, some of these niggas out here, Big Juke and all of them making videos about Young Dolph and talking shit. People even, and then say you didn't do it, but the shit that you saying, dog, is inflammatory. You see what I'm saying? Nigga gonna take that. They gonna take it to how they gonna take it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, nigga. They gonna take it how they gonna take it. And so, and I'm saying that to say that, if you talk about somebody's death, you talk about somebody's death like that, nigga, and then say you didn't do it, the motherfucker still hear the inflammatory tone in your voice, nigga. You see, you celebrating his death. You celebrating it. Would mean you suspect. You a suspect, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? At the minimum, nigga, if I see you, I'm gonna at least go in your mouth, nigga. I'm gonna knock your teeth out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna get in your mouth, nigga. I'm gonna get in your teeth, nigga, cause you out of pocket. Don't speak on mines, nigga, if you ain't got nothing to do with it. Go sit your ass down some damn where. You see what I'm saying? And so he did that. And his daughter, Malcolm X's daughter, tried to get on him. You see what I'm saying? Tried to get in, tried to assassinate him. You know what I'm saying? Tried to get him or get some paperwork, to get a hitman on him. And, and they didn't prosecute or whatever, because what would it look like? You're gonna have the man, you're gonna talk like that and drive the woman crazy because now she want to take your ass out because you didn't talk about her father like that. You understand what I'm saying? Shit. I mean, she wants some type of retribution. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, she wants some form of retribution for what you sitting out here talking inflammatory. That's what would make anybody want to do something like that. You see? Make anybody want to do something like that. So we, when we say these things, see, and people think they deserve a pass. You don't deserve no motherfucking pass. You don't. You don't. You don't deserve no pass, man, at all. And then see where you see where he at today. Got L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology, taking pictures with Eminem and all sons all married to Cro-Magnon Neanderthals and shit. I say, man, what kind of shit is this? You mean to tell me, nigga, y'all got enough nerve to talk about Malcolm X like this? And y'all niggas out here cooning on an escalated level like this? This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable, man. And so, they coming out today. Yeah, they in all to what's it called? Dianetics, synthetic Dianetics. L. Ron Hubbard, a student of Aleister Crowley. You understand what I'm saying? A Satanist. This nigga this Cro-Magnon Neanderthal was a Satanist. L. Ron Hubbard went out to California to be with Jack Parsons. They got them, what they call it, it's a new series out talking about, I forget the name of it. Yeah. And Jack Parsons out there in California, and he was the head of Aleister Crowley's OTO in California. Yeah, and L. Ron Hubbard went out there to he stayed with Jack Parsons. Yeah, he stayed with Jack Parsons and ended up taking his woman and his money. L. Ron Hubbard sent and stole that man's wife, his money, and everything else. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's your Dianetics. That's your damn L. Ron Hubbard, a crazed maniac who died, who died on the run. He was a fucking outlaw. You understand what I'm saying? He was wanted. They had all kind of warrants on his ass. You see what I'm saying? And when they found him, he was a recluse. The motherfucking nails had grew down like a savage. His hair was all down, had grew. He was a savage. Yeah, he was a savage. And this is the man, and you're gonna take out Malcolm X and Khalid Muhammad and give us L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard, you got two profound images of a black man that we so need today. And you take out Malcolm X and Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Man, why couldn't it have been different? Why couldn't it have been Khalid Muhammad under Malcolm X together like that? You see what I'm saying? Oh man, you talking about, how you had dream teams? Man, wow. You understand what I'm saying? That's a dream team. If you could have had them all together, Malcolm X, Khalid Abdul, Dr. Ben, and Dr. Clark together, oh my God. We could have made it. We could have made it, man. We no way in hell. You know what I'm saying? You got the ground runners. You see what I'm saying? You got the masters at the top. Man, that would have been a profound team. You see? And so I just want y'all to understand that when you got leaders, man, they're going to get you and going to say what need to be said, you got to guard your leaders, man. You got to guard them. You got to take care of them and make sure, man, that, they get the job done, that they are able to get the job done. Because you don't get them. It ain't like you don't get them like that. It's like one a generation. You see, one a century. You see, when you talking about Malcolm X, you talking about one a century. You ain't going, not even, not even a generation. A generation might be 20 years. You only get them one a century. And so, you have to protect them and make sure that they are able to complete the mission. You see, and so family, that speech was the speech that I heard. That was the speech that will forever convince me that Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam were accessories, no doubt about it, to the death of Malcolm X. What man or organization would even insinuate the death of a man unless they want people to implement them in the death? That go for any man's death. Why would you speak out openly and celebrate that death and say, what? You say, did you kill Malcolm? They say, what if we did? What if we did? To insinuate that you had motive and right. He did us wrong. He talked about Elijah Muhammad, and so we had the right to kill him. That's what you're saying. So they didn't even have to look for no motive. You gave them the motive. Something is confusing about that. Most people keep their mouth closed. They don't say shit. We ain't had nothing to do with it. And leave it at that. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We sad about what happened. We wish it could have turned out a different way. We was hoping it would turn out a different way. And so, we're sad about what happened. We didn't have nothing to do. And leave it at that. Not no, he called his own, he deserved to die. Because if somebody else killed him, and if he deserved it, that didn't have nothing to do. what did they kill him? If it wasn't y'all, what did they kill him over? You see what I'm saying? You see? So you giving us the reason why you feel the way, and you feel the way you do because you feel he scandalized Elijah Muhammad. So if it wasn't you, then what did they kill him over? Because you giving us a motive on why you killed him by insinuating that it was because, the way he scandalized. They didn't say nothing else, that he had a beef with nobody else or nothing. They just he emphasized the fact on why they had a beef with Malcolm X. Period. Period. They didn't talk about no, well, he had a beef. We don't know. And we understand that the government, but the way y'all did it, that was like leaving him out in the open. Like, okay, go on ahead and see. And then see, when they say that Elijah Muhammad said, don't touch him. Why you didn't? Well, what do you keep saying? What the messaging said, and what if we did? See, now you see, this is something totally different. A man to say, don't touch him, and what if we did? That's two different. That's like bipolarism and shit. What do you mean? Either don't touch him, and if you say don't touch him, don't insinuate that you did touch him, that you had motive to touch him. You see, if you say don't touch him, then nobody should have touched him. We say don't touch him, and that should have been what everybody, but that ain't what you hearing from him. You hearing in the way he made. I don't know what they paid. I never heard him, real deal say I'm trying to get the air, but you know what? You leave behind what you don't want to use, you can leave it behind. I feel you on that. 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 But nevertheless, the niggas have got it. The nigga, we have to lead. You say you trying, real deal say, I'm trying to lead the air about our culture. Shit. And I'm trying to lead a nigger out of our culture. Shit. You understand what I'm saying? If we can do that, shit, we'll be somewhere, but I believe that, Malcolm was more, for the progression. You know what I'm saying? Getting us further down the line. You see, getting us further down the line. He'd have been the last one, because even when I dealt with Khalid Abdul Muhammad, I listened to him, but when he started talking about the Nation of Islam and all that, Master Farad Muhammad, man, I'm done. I ain't take everything in, but in his heart, I knew he was for our people. Khalid Muhammad wasn't about no Arab. You understand what I'm saying? And so, but that Nation of Islam and all that damn flying saucer shit and all of that, I couldn't deal with that. I couldn't deal with that. So when I heard him, and I knew what to take and I knew what to leave behind. But ultimately, I knew that he was most definitely one for our people, and that he could not be replaced. He could not be replaced, and we needed him. You see what I'm saying? We needed him, and he would run to the front, quicker than anybody. He would not back down, and when you got such a fearless spirit like that, man, you need that. You know what I'm saying? You need that. Okay. But family, I appreciate y'all being out here. I'm going to continue to bring it up. I'm going to continue until, we got to get justice for our brother. We got to get justice for Malcolm X, man. And if nothing else, we is to speak and not just praise him, show the world what they have, what people have done to him, and have not yet, no justice have come about from the murder of Malcolm X. No justice has been served, his family yet. 59 years later, he's still nobody, and the people that they locked up, they wasn't even responsible. You see, so we got to continue to fight until justice is served. I want to thank everybody for being here, family. Appreciate you. We ain't gone yet. We got one more for the night. Stay with me. Come back, get some of this fire. Answer me that question in the next one coming up. All right, family, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily liberation for African education and confrontation. Black power.